Wish you all a very good afternoon. My name is Huzaifa Matawala, and I'm from the Region Paints Incorporation, New York. And we also have the Paint Foundation, which is a non-profit recycling paints. And I am today going to speak about sustainability, maximum sustainability, and achieving health, safety, and environmental, regulatory, and sustainability objectives through lifetime cycles assessment and waste minimization. This has always been a very interesting topic to me since the childhood because we have always been into situations whereby uh, we were in need of the products at the lower prices and the items that are discarded from the factories, which could be reused into the circular economy. We will come on that in the other slides, how we start everything. So paint industry is a sustainable solution provider to several industries: construction, boating, aero, furniture, sports, infrastructure projects, and so on. Everything that paint touches itself to, it enhances the life of that particular item. If it is applied to a furniture, the durability with the coating for the furniture increases several coats. For a boating industry, it avoids the boats from rusting. In aero industry, it gives you the same thing. In construction, the bridges could stay stronger without rusting and the natural calamities for several years. Now, this longer life to all the items that our coating industry is able to provide saves millions of hours and saves the damages. So the bridge that could have survived only for a 50 years without the coating of paint now is standing in the last 250 years with regular intervals of coatings on it. So the iron creation, the man hours, the shifting, the transportations, we are saving good amount of it. In return, a lot of saving on the carbon footprint during the process. Over a few decades, we have seen the issues the paint is capable of creating when put in contact with nature. Now, in the last 2 decades, we have altered the formulations to keep the paint industry away from the items that could harm. We were creating items for a stronger durability, and then that included use of several items which were eventually not good for the human habitat or the animals or the environment. And we had these discoveries over the period of time, and we were very quick to make the changes and try to bring things into the solution. Now, sustainability, environmental advantages, and everything is, is related to this particular concept of technology. And this is directly related with the increase in technological advances and the increase in the money supply. There is a direct increase of the carbon dioxide emissions. Now, how this goes to start with, that in the financial times under which this is the financial times under which everything is possible. The economic era, we are equipped with the fiat currencies, empowering unlimited access to extraction of the natural resources, where we are able to create a better lifestyles. The correlation of technology with economy affects the ecology in a way that initially before the industrial revolution, we used to produce, for example, 100 umbrellas, for instance. Now, with the help of the economic advantage, industrial advantage, we are now able to create 10,000 pieces of umbrellas. Technically, with the 10,000 pieces of umbrellas, the price of the umbrella should have gone down. But 7,500 years and today, the price of the umbrella is several folds higher. Now, how does this happen? This is because money is multiplied several times. So there is a lot of money chasing lesser goods, hence creating inflation. Since the fiscal and the monetary system is no longer backed by anything, it is a fiat currency since 1971. It is directly dependent on the GDP, which is the gross domestic product of a country. So the more you produce of something, the price goes down. Hence, We can see on the chart, it is directly related with the printing of money, is directly related to the carbon dioxide emissions. This is a very fascinating new angle of sustainability, which has never been seen before. I've written a couple of articles in a couple of magazines that explains the entire process. The entire article is dedicated to this, but this is a very short glimpse to bring it to you that it is nobody's fault. It is the economic system that has put pressure on the industries to produce more so that it doesn't run into an inflationary. Now, there are challenges that we have currently in the paint industry. And this is today, since we're discussing on the recycling of the paints, there are two places from where we are able to get the paint. One is from the household and the stores, and the other is from the industries. The household leftover paint is very well collected by several programs by the Paint Care and other recycling companies. And but yet a major part goes into fuel blending. 95% of the paint created today is going as waste, water-based or latex-based. Now, this is due to several reasons. One, programs like Paint Care or other household hazardous waste independent recycling companies are not able to contract with 100% amount of counties around. And two, there is lack of education and knowledge and awareness in the market. But both these models are doing an excellent job. The second issue is from the paint industries. Paint and paint raw material industries create off specs. We are creating waste, expired items, returns from the customer, and so on, and including the factory batches that are going wrong and the wash solvent, the wash wood. Now, this is inevitable. This will happen when a formulation changes or there is a return from a customer or something has come up. You can no longer use, and this is unavoidable. Totally agreed. But we have a solution to this. These two items we can take and we can recycle. We'll see in the later slides that how we are working and how relevant this current paint and coating industry is. So this is just a example of the paint and coatings industries whereby the pigment market, how strong are we the consumer of pigments, whereas paint and coating is almost 45% of pigment into compared to the other industries, plastics or inks. This 2016 to 2071, the application we are able to see. And we are now this slide is relevant because this will show us that where we are burning or land burning, the useful items that could be reutilized into the batches of production are now going into the waste. So the solutions that we see on this is we have two solutions for sustainability. One is creating a biodegradable paint capable of handling extremes to the subject, and other is handling the leftover, the batches expired, off-spec rejects waste, and unusable, unusable. Now, the biodegradable thing, we are having very good development for several industries. What we would probably specialize in currently is handling of the leftovers, expired batches, and these things on the platform today. Solutions for the latex-based reuse, we are having collection programs. There are recycling companies that take these kind of programs you see in the picture down. Use within the industries is something which is absolutely amazing. We have several projects for procuring of the latex paint cans in the market, homes, industries. These are used in manufacturing of stuccos, plasters, driveway sealers, and recycled latex-based paints. Now, however, when we are doing this, we are also having a lot of solvent-based paint. The solution for solvent-based paint in this part right now is not as much. But we as a group, we are having amazing solutions to the solvent-based paints and reusing. A sustainable, reusable, circular economy solution is eventually the final solution to everything that is going into the waste currently. Avoiding the product from going into landfill or fuel burial, save the resins, save the pigments, and save the solvents from getting burned, coming back into the land, creating non-agriculture lands by doing this, reducing the landfill size of the paint is what our target is. This is a very beautiful diagram that we have over here, which actually explains how we are able to take and from where we are able to take, what we are able to take. So as a foundation, 501c3, we are able to take the waste when there's a raw material production happening. So there is a waste happening during the extraction of raw materials. This eventually goes into the paint production units. I'm sorry. This goes into the paint production units in the factories. The factories manufacture the products, which eventually ends into the distribution and sales into the stores, wholesalers, retailers, manufacturers. Then the painter buys the paint from the store, the applicators, and on every step, you see that there is a wastage coming. There's a wastage coming from the raw material extraction, raw material manufacturers, resin producers, pigment producers, solvent producing industries. Then there is waste coming from the paint manufacturing companies. There is sales and distribution in the stores where the expired products, missed-in products, products that customer took, he did not like the shade, he brought it back. And on the application also, maybe he wanted 3 gallons of paint, but then he bought 5 gallons just in case he doesn't have to run back to the shop. Now that 2 gallon is lying with him. This is a huge problem. There is a huge amount of awareness being happening that only buy how much you need, which is a very good motto in order to save this thing. So we are able to take items from 1, 2, 3, 4 of these locations, take it as a donation, create a product. We are creating over 53 recycled items, latex recycled, putty recycled, oil paint recycled, epoxies and solvent-based items. Most of the hazmat items eventually go into bitumen paint, bitumen emulsion paint, bitumen putties, stucco putties, industrial coating, red oxide primers. Now, this is the range I'm discussing about the recycled range of items. We will come on to that slide after this. So this is everything. This is how it works. And then all the tax benefit, the charity of the recycle model is created, and the projects, it protects the natural resources, land, oil, soil pollutions, reducing the carbon footprint. So a place where disposal becomes donation and recycling becomes charity. This is the model that we are currently obtaining. Now, what kind of waste are we talking about, or what kind of unusable items from the paint industries? These are a few examples of the items that could be reutilized, which are currently absolutely going into the waste stream. Off specs, customer returns, brand changes, industrial solvent washes, tank washes, machine washes. Now, these are the solvents. They have some minerals into it, they have some resins into it, they have some colors into it. These could be reutilized in an as it is manner without extracting the solvent out of it or without extracting the pigments or minerals out of it directly into a paint batch. Now, that is where the magic is created. Incomplete batches, batch failure, gelled materials. Now we are able to recook them, remix them, and work them out. The alkyd wash, pigment and additive industry sale, latex binders, acrylic resin binders, the solid content have gone wrong, the color have gone wrong, the particle size has changed, acid value, react color variations. This happens with most with the alkyd resin items. Sweep materials, for example, in the pigment industry, titanium dioxide industries, misprint from the stores, and also from the places where now this is easy. I mean, there are most of the small mom and pop stores and regular dealers, distributors who have solution to this. But yet, if this could be addressed at a larger scale, whereby these misprints could actually work as a donation, where they can write off a 501c3, is an excellent idea rather than just giving it for free to anybody without any advantage. Expired inventories. Now, expired inventory. Now, this could no longer be used. The can has to be opened. It has to go into a batch, takeover, merger, inventory issues, closeouts. Basically, a huge amount of non-sellable and non-usable items. It is case to case. It changes from industry to industry, but the solution has arrived. So the solution has arrived, and when we get into this, we have contracts with the plant. For example, it's a manufacturing company. So we set up a non-disclosure agreement, we set up a MOU, we have a contract whereby after we have the information of what amount of waste stream they have, The kind of waste stream they have, we try to move them as a product, either by creating a usable item within the industry or by supporting documents whereby showing them that how we can take it and what we can do it. Basically these two diagrams that you see, one is the water-based resin and other is the alkyd-based resin. Now these are especially the 99% of the items that we would get into in the paint industry. Alkyd base, which is mineral spirit, long oil, soya oil, fatty acids, and the acrylic resins, which is styrene acrylic, vinyl acrylic, pure acrylic, based paints and the raw materials that are compatible in both are the ones we are able to take. And then when we take it, we use them into the criteria based on its compatibility. Like I just explained, it is compatible with the solvent or with the water, then what kind of resin is used in it, what kind of solvent is used in it, the color, the sheen, and finally the density. These checks, after these checks, we are able to get a product bulk, which we are able to use into our batches of production, 30%, 40%, 50%, 80%, depending on what it is. There's a huge variety. There is a huge variety of items that we receive, and there are so many places we go wrong. And yes, we do go wrong in several cases, but eventually we are able to create a product that is usable and that is sellable. Now, these are a few steps that could be useful in understanding the solvent-based paints and resins, which is more of a issue compared to the water-based. Water-based solutions, we have quite a few industries who are able to solve the latex-based and the water-based paint into a problem. The, the challenge that we face in the industry today is the solvent-based paints, resins. The few steps that I explained in the previous slides, the structure of the resin, its compatibility, alkyd resin, short oils, a medium oil base, styrenated base. It's a two-pack system, a one-pack system, quick dry system, or it never dries at all, boiling point study. And then these things are bulked into the totes, either on the side of a manufacturer or in a separate plant, totes and drums. And then it is shipped for the use. Most of the items that we receive on a regular basis, or we could receive on a regular basis, are the solvents, different kind of solvents, impure, so many different things going into the waste or a burning stream. So after we receive these things, you can batch wise sort it, take it into production, check it. For example, it's a high density alkyd resin mix with a darker color, could probably go in one of my batches of red oxide primer. If it is a nasty two-pack system, only one pack is available, other pack is missing, and it's all 7, 8 different kind of colors, all mixed into a tote, eventually turns out to be gray or brown. These things could go into the bitumen coatings. So there are over 53 different kind of items that what we have created. And these are all the recycle items that we are able to produce from different kind of waste streams that we have created. We have filed for a patent in process on several formulations and several processes with the solvent-based items. Hopefully, everything goes well. We'll have a very good invention in hand and we'll be able to help many, many, many more industries in the future also. This is just an example of what the recycle paint on the water-based series would look like. These are the 6 fast-moving important products which we are able to create with ease. There are more products, but these are the fastest ones. Interior, exterior, latex paints and primer. Most of the companies are producing this. Weather guard we are having. We have texture coating, which is a unique product. Plastic emulsion, which is a unique new product. Stucco putties, which is again a new product. And bitumen emulsions. We have the solvent base, the one that we're currently discussing. Industrial coatings, synthetic enamels, alkyd coatings, bitumen primers, alkyd putties, red oxide primers that we've discussed. So these are a few solvent-based items that we are able to create from the wash batches of solvents. Alkyds gone wrong, two-pack epoxy system, the drying, not drying, gelled items. We are able to have these things and more from the solvent base. The entire project that we explained helps us to reduce the carbon footprint on 2 sides. One, by reusing the waste into the production lines. We are replacing the new raw materials. Hence, that much of lower extraction of oil, that much lower extraction of power, so much less cutting of trees, so much less erosion of soils for the environment. And the other segment is by not putting the waste into the landfill, we are saving millions of square meters of land from deprivation of its agricultural reuse. Hence, secure purity water tables underneath. This is how we work as a charity donation concept, where the corporate social responsibility, the zero waste, creating zero waste corporations, and bringing up programs like million liters of paint donation. These are a couple of programs we currently have on hand, whereby we are creating a platform where disposal becomes donation and recycling becomes charity. So not only the company could attain a reduction in waste, but they could also bring it up as a social responsibility character. This is a global paints and coating market size forecast. If you're looking at 250 billions in 2024, then if we are wasting 10% of it on different parts, raw material creation, finished goods creation, store front, the contractor front, the figure of the paint industry wastage is higher than several African countries' GDP in all put together. So this, from the commercial perspective as well as from the environment perspective, this is something which is a very good platform. We have always been a paint manufacturing industry from the last 50 years in different parts of the world, working on a very moderate and a very simple platform. We have created a path-breaking workmanship of corporate responsibility, this time for the entire paint industry. And we are able to take these items and put that industry, partnering with them into a corporate responsibility charter, not only making them save their waste from the state, from the waste streams, but also to put them into a donation aspect, whereby this material will be reused into a circular economy and donated into the economies of need. Definitely, this is a one revolution ahead, and we are inviting the paint industries, the paint professionals into the voyage. We formed this 501c3 nonprofit last year, and we have amazing amount of response, cooperation from several industries, platform. There is appreciation from a lot of places, and many industries are able to join and take advantage of the recycling circular economy. International partnerships, we are currently partnered in UK, in Australia, in India, in Canada, in US, and partnered with several manufacturing companies in Africa and India to educate them how to reuse these items. And associations, obviously, individual industry consultants, training them, giving them certificates. And our program basically concludes on the two major solutions. One is the reuse and control of the damage of paints that it could cause to the environment. And second, to secure the petrochemical and natural resources, causing a multi-billion saving by reducing the extractions. Unlike most of the countries, US is also dependent on oil and fuel internationally. And paint is a huge amount of formulation of paint is petrochemicals. On the process of the work, we are encouraging the individuals who are able to come and join with the certification process. So if you have a story, if you have done something, if you have an invention, if you have something really amazing that you would like to share, this is an encouragement in recycling from the Paint Foundation to the individual who's able to do this. The companies who are able to recycle into a circular economy, we award them with certificate of corporate responsibility, that they are reducing the waste on one hand and creating the donation opportunity, partnering with us on the other. This was a presentation, hopefully. If you have any questions or anything you would like to know, my details and description is there on the brochure. My name again is Huzaifa Matawala. I'm the CEO President of the Paint Foundation and Region Paints Inc. USA. Thank you so much.